Hello, Africa. Good morning. How are you doing? It's such a beautiful moment here with Akolade Uluwatoba, and I'm super glad to be doing this. How are you doing over there? Trust you are good. Okay, yeah. So today is the three of the virtual edition of KWARABUILD Tech Community Conference. Wow, we've done day one. We've done day two. Today is day three, and it promises to be amazing. You've got to have an amazing time with us today. So once again, my name is Akolade Uluwatoba, and I am a member of Cora Beauty Tech Community, where we inspire, where we lead, where we innovate. Of course, network. Thank you for being part of this amazing movement, and I do hope that you get the very best of experience here. So today we're doing something amazing. We have amazing panelists to interview and hear about their view. So it's amazing that this is going on at this present time, especially during the time of COVID-19, where we had a lot of youth lost their job. It wasn't something that was funny. I mean, the whole place were locked down, and youth and every one of them that had their businesses done on a physical level were not able to flow very well. That was very sad. Okay. But then we are looking at something amazing today. A topic that over the years it has become um, a major topic of discussion for the youth and everyone at large, and that's the issue of agriculture. Now we are not just looking at that; we are looking at agricultural plus technology, and the topic goes thus: how agriculture and technology can employ Africa's young workforce and help build peace. Wow. So how we can make use of agro-technology to employ our African young minds into the skill sets that they actually need to prosper in the industry. So amazing, we have our first speaker here. We have our first speaker here, and that is the person of Mr. Olawale Rotimi. Can you give an emoji round of applause for him, please, wherever you are? Amazing. Okay. So just let me know where you're watching us from. Just type in the comment section that you're watching via YouTube or Facebook or Twitter. Let me know where you're watching us from. Just type in your name or your handles and where you're watching us live from. We are so glad to have you here. Amazing. Once again, my name is Akolade Olua Toba. Okay. Right. So, like I said, we have our first speaker here in person of Mr. Olawale Rotimi. And in the next few seconds, you shall hear me reading out his amazing bio. Short, precise, but powerful. All right? Cool. So, who is Mr. Olawale Rotimi? He is the founder and chief executive of JrFarms Africa. That is he was recognized as the young leader in Africa's agri space, addressing global audience at various high-level meetings at AFDB, Harvard, ILO Africa, FIO Africa, among others. And there's something so amazing about Mr. Lawale Rotimi, and that's the fact that he's passionate about creating jobs and ensuring food security in Africa. I think you've brought the right person to this platform to discuss this. Isn't that amazing? So just sit back, get your pen, get your jotter, and let's flow together as we host our amazing guest today. So be ready to receive every single information that you can get here. You never can tell where this can lead you. And I promise you, it's leading you well. Okay. So, Mr. Wale, Mr. Lawale, good morning, sir. How are you doing today? Hello, Mr. Olawale.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Nice having you here, sir. How you doing?
Thank, yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank you so much.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you for agreeing to do this with us. We're so glad to have you on board discussing this. This means a whole lot to us. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Um. Yes, sir. First, I have this feeling that because when I read about you online, I discovered that this bio I just read out now is more sophisticated that uh, than what I have just read. So, sir, I would like you to just tell us briefly who is Mr. Olawale Rotimi.
So you have just read it. I'm the founder and CEO of JrFarms.
Wow, sir.
Yeah, I'm passionate about agriculture, creating jobs across the continent. Uh, yeah, I think that's just like a brief about me. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, sir, let's talk about merging agriculture and technology. I believe you've been in this space over the years. Can you please narrate your experience to us when it comes to merging agriculture plus technology together?
Mm. Well, technology is now a part of our lives. It's not it's not
Yeah.
it's no more a luxury. It's not no more something we look at from
Sure.
afar. Yeah, it's now a part of our life. We all have at the simplest level, we all have a mobile phone. We all have a computer. We all have yeah, whether sophisticated or not, we have some level of engagement with technology on daily basis. Yes, we have to send money. We have to use POS. We have to use ATM. Yeah, yeah. So technology has become a part of our lives, and then it is not about agriculture alone. It touches every area of life, every sector, agriculture, healthcare, name it. So yeah, for agriculture, of course, just the way it touches other aspect of life, it touches agriculture also. And yeah, it's what the aim of technology generically is to make things easier. What takes you
Mhm.
longer
Yes.
time to do before, you are able to do it at a shorter time with uh, um,
Yes.
lesser labor or lesser humans, and then lesser time. Yeah. So of course, it's very important to agriculture because now it can solve many of the problems in agriculture and yeah, enhance growth and food security.
Mm. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you for that, sir. Okay. I've been
Mm.
itching to ask because we've had a lot of graduates out there that every year they keep graduating, but the sad news is that after graduation they are not being either employable or not even literally employed. Can you please tell us how can our higher institutions help us in making these works for our students in preparing them to work in the agricultural sector?
Yes. So education plays a lot of roles in preparing young people for the task they have ahead, for the job they have
Okay.
ahead. Yeah. So, and we all know that today the future of work is changing very quickly. Things are changing very
Yeah.
fast. So, yeah, uh, I think academic or yeah, learning institutions need to look into the future of work and adapt the curriculum to it. Because the future of work we have now, it's no longer be about it's no longer going to be about certificates, but more about skills. So I think learning institutions need to integrate
Mm.
more entrepreneurship into learning, because
Mm.
we need more of people, graduates who can be creative, who can think deep and provide solutions to societal issues, societal problems. And we have many of those problems here in Nigeria and other parts of the world also. So we need graduates who would be able to create with their minds, not graduates who come out and just hanging around. Yeah, so I think learning institutions have a role to play in preparing young people, adapting the future of work into current curriculum, so that they don't finish in the years to come and then they are loitering around, not being relevant to the opportunities out there. So in adapting the curriculums, preparing their minds, skill acquisition, and other key areas that will keep them relevant for the future to come.
Wow. That's impressive. So we can just try as much as possible to make sure that the curriculum are in tandem with the necessary skills that is needed for our graduates to work in any sector that they want to. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Now, sir,
thank you.
Over the years, I believe you've interacted with a whole lot of people, especially Africa. And just like the tag that we are following this year, Africa's Next Builders. To your own experience, do you think Africans are employable when it comes to agri-tech?
Unemployability is a global problem. It's not an African problem. I think it's good to say that. You have unemployability everywhere across the world, not just in Africa. You meet people who are not employable for a particular role or something. In Africa, interestingly, we have speedy growth and adaptation of young people to agricultural technology. Now we even have many people who don't have backgrounds in agriculture who are diving into it with solutions, technological solutions. Yeah, in Nigeria, we have a lot of them, such as the crowdfunding platforms. Yeah, we have some of them also linking farmers to markets. You have some of them also linking, solving different problems in the ag space. Yeah, you have some of them in other parts of Africa also. So, yeah, I think Nigerians or Africans, young Africans, are really adapting and doing very fine with this and growing very quickly. Yeah, so I would not say I will not access the unemployability, but rather I'll look at it more from a growth perspective that, there's more acceptability and, we can see from the acceptability that there's potentials for growth in the ag tech for young people in Africa.
Wow. So I appreciate the fact that you saw this as a global problem, not just in Africa. And that means we can still do better in our space. Thank you so much for that. Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome.
In my own little interaction with few farmers, I've been able to get from some of them that yes, they make money, yes, they get some income from farming or from agriculture as a whole. But my question has always been, is there a sustainable and predictable income from agricultural technology?
Well, I want to assume so. In our home case, we don't own any agricultural technology platform. We only use the services of maybe one or two of them. Yeah. So, but I want to assume there's no every business, I assume, is lucrative if you know the right keys to press. So if I want to believe that if they have the right key, if they press the right keys, of course it's lucrative and sustainable. So the sustainability of every business is not necessarily about the concept, it's more about the people behind the business, how much of understanding of the sector they have and how they are able to engage the sector. So I think this is more of an individual thing, that how much of information you have at your disposal.
how much of information at the disposal. So I'm guessing that a lot of Africans out there need to just get themselves rightly positioned for them to get better access to information. That's definitely going to help their career. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, correct.
Thank you so thank you so much for that. Okay, one more thing, sir. Can you please tell us, aside the fact that agriculture has merged with technology now, what are the other job opportunities that this is providing for people who feel I don't want to get in there dirty, doing the dirty work, going into the farms, going in, touching the soils, touching the crops and all that? What are the other job opportunities that are available for youth out there in agri-tech?
Yeah, so the sector is huge. It's a complete value chain, and the value chain is made up of various areas. So the primary production is one. That's where you get your hands dirty. You farm, you do this, you do that. Yeah, but there are other areas also. You have access to market. That's movement of goods from one place to another. Yeah, there's marketing part of agriculture. There's the consultancy part of agriculture. We have soil science. You have animal science. So it's a complete chain. We have processing also. So you may not necessarily have to go to farm. You may not necessarily have to own a land where you plow and then you plant something, but you can play in other areas such as processing, yeah, buying and selling, that's marketing of agricultural produce. You can even own a restaurant, it's part of the agri value chain. Yeah, so it's not necessary that when we say agriculture, then all we're talking about is going to farm. So the agriculture is a complete cycle. So it's not just about tilling the land and planting a seed. It's from the soil to table. So to the table. So all that happens between when it's in the from the soil to the table, yeah, it's agriculture. Some people are just into seed research. They're just developing new seeds, varieties, and the like. So all this is part of the agri value chain, and yeah, youths can identify areas they can connect in this sector.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, sir, can you please tell us how can intracontinental and collaborations be encouraged and fostered in the agri-tech community? Like
Uh,
buying from ourselves.
yeah, it's about understanding what's it called, the different needs and how to plug into it.
Mm,
So yeah, partnerships are key, collaborations are key. No business can exist as an island, so it's just key for you to identify what areas you need support from and identify the key partners where you can get the support. And then yeah, yeah. So it's possible, and I think a lot of young Africans need that to scale, identifying key partners and how they can work together.
wow.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. So once that means once there is identification of key partners, what are the steps that one can actually take to make this relationship work?
Yeah, if
Because
you have
I've seen a lot of them, we have resist. Okay, go ahead, sir.
no, go ahead and ask
I'm
your
with you.
question.
Okay, so we have a lot of factors that are going against this thing. Some will be like, okay, you are not up to your standard. Some will be like, okay, yes, you want us for partnership, but then because of so and so reasons, they can't just partner with us. So what are these things that once you identify the key partners that want to have collaborations with to actually make work?
Yeah, so if you identify key partners, you have to, of
Yes, sir.
course, lay out, find out the standard requirements, because nobody will want to work with anyone with lesser standards. more also if you have the requirements, or you don't, you can even request for the requirement from the potential partner you're looking at. And you have to reach out to them. You have to reach out to them. You have to make your plans clear. And yeah, not all partnerships proposals will work, because you may be looking at it from one angle, and the potential partner is looking at it from another angle. So your partnership proposal may not be in line with what your potential partner is looking at for the moment. So yeah, so for me, I think it's more of you identify partners, you articulate what you want to do with them, you write to them, stating it clearly. Yeah, and then you have to show the capacity that you are up to the task of the partnership. Yeah, so I think
profound.
with that, I think it will be possible.
So reaching out to them, and the very one thing that I caught from what you said is you raising up your level of capacity to match up the global standard. I think that's very, very valid. Very, very valid. And thank you so much again for doing this, sir. And I love one thing about the way you speak, and that's you speak from a place of relaxation, which shows your number of years doing this. And it's not just you speaking from what you've read in Google, you're speaking from experience and from real life applications. I really, really doff my heart for you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so being here all this while, I believe you must have experienced some time where things are not going right in terms of agri-tech. So what are the possible challenges militating against agricultural technology that you have encountered? Please tell us ways by which you can tackle them too.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, we're not into agri-tech, so it's quite difficult to find we use agricultural technology at some point, but we're not an agricultural technology company. We are more of a processing company, agricultural processing company. Yeah, but there are generic challenges that face businesses in the agri sector, which also binds on agri-tech. You have the infrastructural deficit in the country. Yeah, so maybe some of them may experience fluctuating networks. Also payment problems on this agtechs, and so the generic a lack of regulation, or let me say inadequate, not lack of regulations, inadequate regulations. Yeah, so these are generic problems facing businesses in Nigeria and perhaps other parts of the world also. So the key thing is you have to domesticate your challenges. For example, now when I mean domesticate, you have to profile solutions that are obtainable within your environment. For example, now you can have a processing plant, and you know that electricity is not stable in Nigeria. So if you're not doing something so industrial, of course you can have your engines run on diesel engines, so that you don't have to incur so much cost on generators. So that's like domesticating your challenges. So there are ways you can domesticate your challenges and create a local solution to them. So for some of those challenges, I think it's just only normal to look for local solutions to them, and otherwise, you can also adopt some of the global solutions that are available.
That's interesting. Okay. So, what do you see agriculture in the next 5-10 years, sir?
Well, we're still observing. I will expect that to see more young people get involved at that time. I also expect to see more development in the sector at that time. We expect also by that time that there will be more agri-industry and more adoption of technology in agriculture at that time. So I think I see a good future for the sector. Yeah, in the future.
Wow, wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. Now, I read one of your posts where you created like 3 days ago, where you're talking about how you were a child when things were looked far away, and I saw the the pictures that you attached there. So, can you please tell us in the agri space? You said some that the gap between idea and reality is action.
Mm.
Personally, sir, can you explain how this can help a lot of youth out there because they feel they only have the idea or they've seen it somewhere or they've read it somewhere that agri space is so lucrative. So can you please, using your own experience, share real life examples, how action can be the only singular difference between idea and just reality?
Yeah. So anybody can dream. Anybody can think of anything. You can, and interestingly, you can do that anytime you like. You can be on your bed and be dreaming, thinking. You can be on the chair and be thinking. You can be anywhere and be thinking in your mind. This is what you want to do. Yeah, but of course, for example, if you have it in your mind to stand up, but if you don't take the action to stand up, you never stand up. So no matter how lucrative or how good the business idea may look, the key thing is just to start something. Yeah, because ideas will remain ideas if they are not implemented, and implementation means act. So no
Mm-hmm.
matter how cumbersome it may look, you need to just start something at your level based on what you have per time and based on the information available to you. You can't have all figured out at the beginning. You cannot have everything sorted from the start. Of course, there will be challenges. There will be limitations, inadequate information. Yeah, but you just have to take that step to move forward, to move beyond just thinking and just yeah. So you just have to move forward. Of course, we didn't start at this level. We're still growing, but we started quite small, and that's. But until you start small, you can't grow big. So without small, they can't be big. So it is in the starting. So when you start, then you can move up gradually to where you want to be.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. That's so cool. Okay, so just like the topic of our discussion here, sir, how can we use agriculture to resolve conflict and maintain peace in Africa?
Yes, uh, uh, so the key thing is food. Food is synonymous to peace. When people are
Mm,
hungry,
mm,
there's a saying that a hungry person is an angry person.
mm-hmm.
So when people
Yes.
are hungry, they are hungry. So you have to maintain peace. Of course, we need agriculture. We need to invest in food security. Yeah, when people are well fed, there's high tendency for them to live in peace. Mm.
When they are well fed, there's high tendency for them to live in peace. I think that's what should be on map.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Okay, sir. Um, Over the years also, I've been able to observe something among our youth. They just don't want to get involved with agriculture. Can you please explain the millions, literally, of opportunities that exist for people working in the agri space?
Yeah, I do not believe youths don't want to get involved in agriculture because already you have a lot of young people who are doing that already. So I don't believe so. Uh, for example, now it is not normal. It's not usual to see someone like myself let's say in the last 10, 20 years doing agriculture. There are a lot of young people who are even in the sector now. So yeah, I do not subscribe to that idea that you don't want to get involved. I think there are more and more young people getting involved now.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Because I was in a discussion with someone recently, and he was telling me of how he can't do this, he can't do that. So I'm like, this is kind of the exposure that they've had, the experiences that they've been exposed to, and all that. But thanks for correcting that erroneous fact that you still want to get involved with agriculture. So amazing. So just give us 10 more minutes while we look at the questions that we have from our audience for you, sir.
That's fine.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, sir. Are you there? Okay, great, great. While we await the questions from our viewers out there, I've read a lot about you, gone through your profiles and all that. You you've amassed so much for yourself. And one thing that inspires me is the fact that you are very young. And I'm so inspired to follow your footsteps, sir. So can you tell us, are there things that you did specially as someone in the agri space that positioned you for these opportunities, for these partnerships and collaborations you have? What are the things you did extraordinarily from the norm?
Yeah, so I'm not sure we did anything different from what other people are doing. Yeah, it's also basically doing the same thing
Yeah.
with higher intensive, in a more intensive way. So consistency,
Mm,
uh, maintaining integrity,
very key.
leaving your size part time, not trying to jump the protocols. So yeah, so there's nothing I'm doing that is extra beyond what other people are doing. Just the same principles, but applied in a more consistent way and more in a more disciplined way. So yeah, so that's what I would say.
Amazing, amazing. I can pick out something from what you said. You said not jumping protocols. I'm thinking that there might be some kind of experience that you've had that made that to fit in into this. Can you give an experience of that, not jumping protocols?
Yeah, so basically, growth is in layers. So if you have a child, the child grows uh, from infant, he grows to sitting at 3 months. From 3 months, about 6 months, the child will start crawling. From crawling, the child will start standing. From standing, the child will start taking baby steps, gradually to walking and to running, and so growth is in stages. But jumping protocols simply implies moving beyond what you plan. Moving beyond the normal growth system. So yeah, it's sometimes you see people
Mm, mm,
who want to walk without crawling. You know, sometimes you see people who want to run without sitting. So so if you have a child who wants to run at 1 month old, that's going to be a disaster. So that's what I mean by not jumping protocols.
mm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's sweet. That's sweet. Okay, so I guess without adding a question right here from our audience, because to them you've touched practically every area that needs to be touched. So your departing words for our viewers out there, for you as an entrepreneur in the agri space, huh?
My what?
Your departing words, sir.
Oh, so let everyone stay true to their vision. No need for competing with anyone. Just compete with yourself. We're all in different races. So let everyone stay true to their vision. Because when challenges come, you have your vision to hold on to keep you going in times of storms. Yeah, don't compete with anyone. Leave your size for time. And yeah, I wish them all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for this. We really, really do appreciate you for doing this. My regards to JR Farms and staff and partners. Thank you for making Africa amazing. Thank you for being part of the Africa's builders. We are so glad to have
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much. Have a
Yes,
lovely weekend.
and you too, sir. And you too. All
All
right,
right, bye.
African. Yeah, bye, sir. Bye, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Zewi, rather. Mr. Ikena Zewi. Good to have you here, sir. Hello, sir, Mr. Ikena.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Trust you are doing good.
Yes, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Apologies, everyone.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Good to have you here, sir. Good to have you here. How's business going?
Business is doing well. It's doing well. It's been an unprecedented year, but I think for food processors, there have actually been a good number of tailwinds. Commodity prices have increased, and so profitability has as well.
Wow.
Not without its difficulties.
Wow. Wow. So, is there any effect that COVID-19 has brought to businesses, especially agri?
Yeah, I think it depends sector by sector what the impact of COVID-19 causes. So I think for agribusinesses that are highly reliant on logistics, you still experience some challenges if you rely on. So for example, if I was a wheat miller and I was importing wheat to then grind into flour, I would have had some challenges because the ports have been a big challenge during COVID-19. However, if you are sourcing locally and selling into local markets, if your customers are rather close to where
Conversation with you, Mr.
processing is occurring.
Ikena. Can you tell us about you, sir?
Yeah, definitely. My name is Ikenna Nzoe. I'm a Nigerian American. I grew up in the States and came back to Nigeria after I finished my undergraduate studies at Yale. I studied computer science there. I work in the processing layer of the value chain. And we work specifically on the challenge that smallholders encounter, which is called pre-processing. So in between farms and factories, we lose a lot of value from our agricultural crops, and the loss of quality generally makes it difficult for the food factories to earn the margin that they would like to earn as well. And so our company develops technology essentially to improve the quality of those smallholder inputs to factories, so factories can have a more industrialized and quality supply chain so that they can grow more quickly. Because we believe local value addition is really important.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, sir, what's your experience in merging agri plus technology over the years, sir?
Yeah, so I mean, my love for technology, I think, just started from a from the time I was a child playing with computers. And so I ended up going to school and studying computer science. My love for agricultural was more practically based. I didn't farm as a child or find it terribly interesting. But I think when you look at the development challenges that we have here in Nigeria and throughout the continent, and you look at how development has been pushed forward over the past 40 years in other places like Asia, it's been an agro-industrial revolution that has catalyzed an overall drive towards prosperous economic development. And so agriculture is more of a necessity than it needs to be a hobby, in my opinion. And so I think the passion for the industry has grown from there. But kind of learning about its very important place in history was, I think, the motivating cause in the beginning.
Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. And when, like, many people that are just discovering technology recently and seeing the need for everyone to be in code techie. Wow, I love that you had the love for it since you were a child. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Talking about the youth working in the agri space, and we are looking at Africa's next builders here. What are the things that can make our Africans to be employable in the agricultural sector?
Yeah, well, we need more food factories, quite simply. We need to do a better job in our food processing layer of the sector. I think that, you know, there are some people that are going to go into production and they're going to use mechanized production to increase yields per hectare. That's going to be an important aspect, but that's not going to be for everyone. Not everyone wants to do production or farm work. And so for those folks, it's really about thinking about how we add value to those commodities afterwards, and how we provide the logistics so that they can get to consumer markets without perishing, if you will.
Wow. So just like I asked the first speaker, we've had a lot of graduates over the years, and time after time, years after years, these graduates come out in troops without getting jobs. How can our higher institutions help in preparing these students, especially for the techie world out there? What are the things they can do, sir?
Yeah, I think the preparation to be done it's largely around problem solving skills and one's ability to synthesize an implication. So when I say synthesizing an implication, what I mean is if I send you to a market to check the prices of commodities, you could come back and tell me what each person in the market told you the price was, or you could give me a summary of the market price is generally between 2,000 and 2,500 naira per bag. It seems that it'll decrease next week. You can kind of, instead of just giving me the raw information, you can help summarize it so that I understand what's important for the decisions that we have to make going forward. And I don't think that our higher institutions do the best job of teaching those skills. There's a lot more of a focus around like regurgitation and being able to kind of do a step-by-step process when the world is a lot more complicated. And so I think what students can do on their own is start businesses, in my opinion. Starting a business is one of the most practical, I would say it's one of the most practical experiences in seeing that the world has a very specific way of working, and you can't trick the world into behaving in a certain way that it doesn't want to. You can't trick the market, essentially. You actually have to provide value to it. And you have to work hard to create a successful business. And so I think in the process of starting a company, it really helps folks develop the skills that are necessary to join the workforce and have something very tangible to contribute.
So it all boils down to preparing them for their individual ability to perform in the market. Wow. That's profound, sir. Okay, sir, do you see agriculture the next 5 to 10 years being in the field?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Like, where do you see agriculture going in the next 5 to 10 years? What's the future of agriculture?
In the next 10 years, I think we're going to start seeing a new class of agro-industrialists. We're going to see greenfield agricultural operations kind of get on the move and start expanding. So you see companies like Food Pro that's doing cashew processing. I believe that's in Kwara State. Relief is doing work in Akwa, but you have these regional players that are kind of greenfield processors. I think over the next 10 years, you're going to see a few of those companies do really well. And you're going to see people who worked at those companies or interned at those companies also go out and form their own companies. And I think that in the next 10 years, we're going to start seeing that there's an agro-industrial opportunity in Africa. And I think capital, both domestic and international, is going to morph itself in a manner to incentivize entrepreneurs to do the hard work that it takes to set up an agro-industrial project, but also one where investors have their risk compensated for in the right way. And so probably going to see a lot more mixtures of debt and equity that are invested to give an investor a good share of a company, but also to provide a company with a debt base so that it can purchase the machinery and kind of get operations started off.
These are really salient points here. Wow. From everything you said, there are some ideas personally that I am getting from everything you say now, and I'm so glad to hear you talk about them. So, sir, with your vast experience working in the agri-tech industry, can you please tell us exactly what are the things that youths need to know to do to ensure that they remain employable in the agri-tech space?
Yeah, I think the main thing is to ensure that you can be given a job to be done and accomplish it. So if I say we'd like to better understand what the historical market prices for tomatoes are in this state, that's the job to be done. If you as a graduate are able to go and find information online, call people that are engaged in the tomato industry, other organizations, and bring me that information on the pricing trends of tomatoes, then that is a win. And that is the level of like skill that we need to develop is one where we're given kind of an outcome that needs to be achieved, and we can figure out the work that needs to be done in between to get to that outcome, where we don't have to ask for the steps.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So what are the parting words for our viewers out there?
Agriculture is an incredible opportunity, and there are going to be a number of billionaires that make their money in agriculture. If you look at the agricultural value chain, and you look at where profit is pulled across the value chain, the profit sits with the processors. Unfortunately, it does not sit with the farmers. It doesn't really sit with folks in retail. The real profit sits with processors. And so we need to industrialize our agricultural value chains. We need to add more value locally. We're doing about 25% versus developed economies. And so there are still major opportunities where people are exporting semi-processed goods when we should be doing the full value addition locally. And so I'm very, very bullish and excited about the agri-processing sector. And I hope you will be too, and continue to do your own research on crops where you think you can get started and have a big impact.
Awesome. It's great having you here, sir. And from the look of things, if we should continue having the discussion, we might spend the whole day here, because I can see how intelligently you are giving us this nugget. Thank you so much, sir, for doing this. Really appreciate you. On behalf of KWARABUILD Tech Community, we say a big thank you to you, Mr. Ikena. Thank you so much for doing this. God bless you, sir.
Yeah, thank you too. And you also did a fabulous job. So it was a pleasure to speak.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We have Mr. Emeka Amadi in the house. Mr. Emeka Amadi, are you there? Welcome, sir. Hello, Mr.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Emeka.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well done, sir. Good to have you here, sir.
Yes, pleasure.
How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very fine. Thank you.
Amazing, 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 amazing. All right. So, for everything we've been discussing so far, I believe you were able to get to know to hear a few things that Mr. Ikena has said. And can you please just give us a few nuggets in addition to what he has said, talking about Africans becoming employable in the agricultural space? Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Are you there? Okay, it's a beautiful moment spent here with Mr. Olawale Rotimi and Mr. Ikena Nzewi. So amazing time here and beautiful nuggets here. I think personally, I'll still have to listen to this again and again because me flying into the route of agricultural technology is something I'm damn passionate about. So these has provided for me a footprint to actually sail on. Thank you so much, amazing guest, for honoring this invitation. We so appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. Mekamadi, for joining in us. And please, for our viewers at home, tweet at for every post, every of your own observation or the things you got from the sessions, kindly go ahead and tweet and tag us at KWARABUILD and would love to also retweet also. And for every hashtag that you've seen from us, that's KBTC20, ensure that you also retweet. We look forward to making Africa better. We look forward to building Africa's next builders. And we look forward to ensuring that our youth become the next best thing in Africa and in other continents. Thank you so much, Africa. Thank you so much, Nigeria. Thank you so much, Kwara. I love you. I remain Akolade Uluwatoba, your humble